You know what? Let's go to the next map. Let's go to this fantastic next map. We're on map number 4, if I'm counting correctly, but we're on Blizzard World. And on top left, we still have Shanghai Staggered. On top right, we still have Atlanta Snow. We're on a hybrid map where you got to capture the point and then move the point. But I love this place because I will say it every time I cast it. I wish this was possibly considered to be a real place. Just somewhere.
Oh, it would be so awesome.
I mean, it is a theme park if you ever needed a theme, and Blizzard is big enough and has the cash cow of World of Warcraft. They should be able to have this as a possibility. Maybe. We don't know for definite sure, but on defense, it's going to be Shanghai Staggered. It looks like they're going to be doing tanks of Winston and Hammond using the verticality because there is a lot of up and down high grounds on this first point, believe it or not. A lot of corners to use. Looks like their first defensive position is going to be up here, which I like. They can see when they go up in the high ground if they decide to go left or right down the middle. And they can quickly get to the point, but there's going to be Super King going to be doing on the Reaper. We're going to have Star going to be sniping as best he can on the Widow. Going to be healed up by Panda on Anna, and Mirari going to be healing on the Zenyatta. Attack for Atlanta, we have...
Double snipers with a dive comp style with Mercy, and that's very smart on this first point, but it's not as smart on second point because of so much high ground and so little versatility.
Now they are probably going forward like, where the flip is Shanghai? Where are they? What the heck? Super King says hi! Not able to finish anybody off, though. Ranger coming in to finish and doing a fantastic drop is going to take Clarity off. Echo does win the Widow battle against Star. For sure, getting Super King. And a lot of poking. Panda does finish off Echo. But it is going to be a fantastic defense so far from Shanghai. It is relatively even right now. 3-on-3. Unless Foreshore goes able to take someone down. Panda getting really low. Is going to fall. This Kringling's sound boost. Or whatever you call his right click. Star getting Foreshore. Pat's going to finish off Ranger and Chicken Nugger. It's just Super King on the point right now. And there he's not. He's going to let them get a tick before he comes back on. Pats does get Star around the corner. That's going to solidify this first push for Atlanta.
Very impressed with how Chicken Nugger is getting so much damage. He already has his ult over anyone else, and that's very impressive. But I mean, just by the sheer amount, they're taking a lot of damage, and it does not seem to be working out for them right now.
Ranger diving forward to do a lot of damage, and then right after him is Chicken Nugger. Putting the shield down, deciding not to follow them off, which very good idea. He was alone. Ranger coming forward, and clear does knock somebody up in the air. Not enough, but Foreshore does come up with Angry Monkey for himself, so it's both Angry Monkeys towards each other. Foreshore getting CC, deciding to stay alive and using his ult. A fantastic and a boosted Chicken Nugger going in the back line, doing some damage after Panda does get taken down by Foreshore. But most of the fight is right here. Chinchilla does get Super King. And now they're fighting in a small room with an angry monkey. This is very scary. But Foreshore does finish off Mirari. And right now it does seem that Atlanta's monkey was able to do a lot of damage. And he finishes off Chicken Nugger, who was like, wait, where's the rest of my team? Getting taken care of by the other monkey. Possible
Fat Finger.
Either possible Fat Finger or to get his mech back. Not necessarily needed, so possible Fat Finger, but always give him the benefit of the doubt. Or, you know, being human. Now they do start Shanghai coming back on the defense. We have a Valkyrie coming out from Atlanta. A Dragon coming out, going to be countered very well by the Transcendence. Panda does take out Echo, but Echo did finish off Star. Clarity does get Echo back up, though. Chicken Nugger getting Chinchilla out of mech. Pat's getting Mirari in the back. Panda trying to do some damage, trying to heal, did fantastic grenades. Pat's going to be taking down 2 members of Shanghai. Echo winning that Widow battle. For sure getting Panda, and it is right now, it does look like Atlanta is just waiting to finish off Chicken Nugger. And that's going to be a fantastic second point for Atlanta.
If I've noticed anything, it looks like Shanghai is getting very little healing. When I look over at their health bars, I usually see them half or less. And that's not good. I believe that they're getting picked off, the supports are getting picked off fairly early. And judging by their aggression right now, I mean, it's very believable. Very smart by them.
They're leaving both their supports right now to push the payload, it looks like, for Atlanta. Wall hacks do come out for them, so the attacking team does know exactly where Shanghai is. No flanking allowed. Junkrat coming out on the high ground as they go around this corner. Pats does get Star. Ranger getting poked as much as he can. A Anna Grenade does come in to keep him alive, shielded as well. Ranger Hoover getting a lot of support as he's swinging his hammers. But again, a Dragon Strike coming out. Not going to be finding anybody, unfortunately, but Angry Monkey of Atlanta. Echo does get Super King in the back. Angry Monkey doing his job of scattering the entire team. A bomb coming out from Chinchilla does get Chicken Nugger. Ranger, however, was able to get Clarity and Pats by swinging his hammer as much as he can. And going to get Echo as well. Mirari doing a lot of poke as he can try against Kringling, but it is going to be Mirari that falls to For Sure. And For Sure is going to fall to Ranger. That's going to be one of the first solid defenses we saw from Shanghai on this map.
I mean, yeah, they seem to collect themselves at the very end there, but I think it was a little too late, possibly. I don't want to bite my tongue at the end and say, oh no, that they full held, but it seems like they might have gotten their groove too late in this fight.
Now Super King trying both DPS. A fantastic shatter is going to get 3 members. 2 members down from Atlanta. Not going to be followed up by anything because it was around the corner. None of their DPS was able to do a lot of damage to him. Die coming out in the back does get Chinchilla, Clarity, and Echo taken down. Pat's going to be taken down by the single shot. And it does look like the Monkey's going to be taken down as well. Super King going to drop down, do what Reapers do. Rain death from the sky, not as in the form of what you'd see a Pharah, but instead a Reaper with a shotgun.
And I mean, it's just hard to commentate over on Shanghai. I mean, they've had great defenses, but it's just Atlanta is rolling them right now. They may have lost the last fight, but still.
Now Echo has switched off of the Widow onto a McCree, hopefully trying to maybe stun Reaper and get that hit before he's able to do enough damage. Chinchilla doing a good job of trying to push them off the high ground. Super King's still up there. For Sure going to take down Ranger. Here comes out another Dragon Strike, trying to just maybe separate the team of the defensive Shanghai. Super King using Wraith already to come down onto the point. Both DPS here in this small little corner. Gonna be getting some damage. Echo does finish off Star. Dragon Nugger getting Chinchilla out of his mech, and it's gonna be another hold for Shanghai.
It's just, like I said before, they may have found their groove too late, but now this is turning me over to saying that they may hold this. They do have 2 minutes remaining, and they have seemed to be lasting through a lot more damage rather than before, but still.
Yeah, Shanghai does have 3 ults, soon to be 4. Super King almost back online again, but he gets taken down by Echo. Clarity might come forward and try get some not Clarity, sorry. I saw Mercy, not that's who it was. It's gonna be a grab, hopefully comboed with a tire that's gonna be taken out by Chinchilla, but Ranger was able to charge forward, get For Sure. Plan to get Chinchilla out of mech. Echo getting Mirari, and it's gonna be High Noon coming out. Gonna be taken down by Chicken Nugger before he's able to shoot off a shot. Getting res right away. But there's
honestly,
no Rhine.
investing that one ult didn't seem to do much, but in the long run, they used 2 ults.
Ranger getting taken down with a fantastic stun and a follow-up from the rest of his team. For Sure does finish off Star. Pat's getting Chicken Nugget right now. Atlanta is moving forward with this Valkyrie. For Sure pushing forward despite having a Discord on him, but it falls after Pats finishes off Mirari. Right now, Atlanta is pushing forward. I'm going to be getting really close. Another Dragon Strike. Excellent position. A huge shatter, but it's just Ranger right now. Getting 4 members of Atlanta on the ground doesn't mean much when there's nobody else there. For Sure going to finish off Ranger with a charge. Die coming out. Not going to be able to finish anybody off, but Mirari does get Clarity. For Sure finishing out Super King, and nobody's almost not going to be on the point, but Mirari does decide to come on at the very last second. Atlanta gets the full cap on their first push through Blizzard World.
Very smart. They saved a bunch of their ults to the very end there, and they just popped them. Very, very smart. Not just threw them out on the blue. They kept it, and they played it well.
I do want to compliment Ranger on a fantastic shatter, but unfortunately, because of the Dragon Strike that came out from Atlanta, the rest of his team was kind of separated, so nobody had pushed forward with him yet to follow up on the 4-man shatter.
They could have used that so much better, but, I mean, the 4-man shatter was great, but if you don't have your teammates there with you and you have a zoning ult there, using that shatter was just very not smart, or not, I can't think of the word right now, but not smart.
Stalling techniques, very good, but that was a very solid defense from Shanghai. Atlanta showing that they can learn as they go forward. So I'll say it again, both teams growing, and I love seeing it. So let's see what they're going to be doing first on what they do when they switch Not deciding to choose anyway, but what do we have on defense for Atlanta?
I mean, looks like they're running a standard hold hold the point type comp. They got the Hanzo and they have Widow, which is good for long distance, but they have those two main tanks, the Orisa and the Hog, holding down the ground, which are very fat tanks and they can absorb a lot of damage, which is fairly smart, but it depends on where they position. That could be the turning point of this game.
It did look like they were trying to set up maybe to the right of the point, but instead they're coming up to the high ground. I'd like to see both snipers maybe use the shield from Orisa instead of being kind of open to possible sniping or flanking from the attacking team. So Shanghai on attack. Looks like we're going to have the dive tanks of Chicken Nugget being on the Winston. Ranger going to be going on the Diva. Super King sticking on the Reaper, doing a good job from last round. Star going to be on the Sombra, going to be healed up by Panda. Instead of being on a main healer, going to be going on the Zenyatta as the off healer. Mirari going to come back on the Mercy. Went ahead and hacked a mega health pack as they're trying to figure out where they're defending. It looks like they're defending on the point. Fantastic halt and a fantastic hook from Ranger, but Pats does finish off Chicken as he gets halted. Echo does get Mirari, and Pats does get Ranger out of mech. Fantastic first burst of damage as the teams kind of first clash.
I mean, I agree they had a great point, but they're playing really aggressive right now, which is also giving them some ult charge, but they have the walls up so they know where they are, and it's smart positioning and smart ult usage.
Right now,
but
both DPS,
Widow is the only one.
Both DPS from Shanghai revealed, and both trying to flank. That's possibly why they were unable to push forward and why they got picked off so easily, because a third of their team were trying to flank and kill the Widow. Now, they did get the Widow. She was rezzed. Paz does get Super King thanks to the Sonic Arrow shot. Star almost getting taken out, but going to be able to back up. See if there's going to be any changes coming out from Shanghai to try and counter this.
They changed over to Sombra too, which is a smart pick.
They do have that was Sombra pick was there, but I like to see them actually utilize their build, because their build is to dive and conquer. Fantastic dive from Chicken Nugget, pushing Widow off her high perch, shielded to allow their team to come up with them. Now Panda is basically the only one that is need to be protected on the Zenyatta. He is kind of using corners as best he can as they push forward. Pat's going to be flanking again, possibly getting a lot of damage. Does get Chicken Nugget. Does look like he's going to be rezzed immediately by Mirari. They are kind of poking onto the points. Pats does get Panda. Chicken Nugget diving in. It does look like Echo is on the high ground trying to get Mirari, who's trying to use the wall. Does use Valkyrie to get away. Super King going to be staying on the point as Chicken Nugget pokes as best he can, and it does look like Shanghai is going to be getting this first, second, and then third final tick to get the payload rolling.
Honestly, I would not have used the Valkyrie right there. They could have used it at a better scenario, but it worked out in the long run for them, and it seemed like they only used just that one ult, so...
I'm going to have to disagree. I believe Mirari, who perhaps was getting scared from Echo on the Widow, realizing that his off-healer Panda was dead and needed to run back, I agree with the Valkyrie, keeping himself alive and then dashing forward immediately into Chicken Nugget's shield to make sure that their main healer did not drop, which did allow them to get this first cap onto the point.
Understandable.
A lot of back and forth, and they're deciding to back off a little bit. They're deciding to go to the high ground. I like that. Now, Sombra is still back on the low ground. Pats is kind of here by himself, going to be poked at from Sombra. They decided the high ground is not good enough. Super King does get Pats as they keep pushing forward just slightly. Right now, Foreshore is the only one not on the high ground for defensive Atlanta. A good hook onto Ranger Hoover does get him out of mech. Chicken Nugget diving forward to get a lot of poke damage, and die coming out from Super King. Not gonna not find any purchase with a shot, but it is a lot of pushing right now from Shanghai. Dragon Strike coming forward. Does get Mirari. After Echo got him, Echo gets Mirari and Super King, even though Pats' Dragon Strike did a lot of that damage. Chicken Nugget finishing him off as he leaps on top of him. And both monkeys falling down. So it's a good solid, another defense right now from Atlanta. And it's going to be a huge stagger for Ranger as he's trying. There is nowhere to actually jump off, and that is a very smart play. You guys need to remember that. You need to if it's just a diva and she gets hit in a mech, stall her as much as you can.
That honestly stalled at least 30 seconds off that next fight.
And right now, it's like they're waiting in line for a ride to Blizzard World, as Ranger just now comes in. Now, D.Va does have some mobility, so able to push forward and able to do a lot of pushback onto Echo, who is getting some fantastic shots. Super King able to get that last final hit. A fantastic EMP and a nerf that's coming out. Is it going to get anybody? It is not! It's going to be people are able to get around the corner. Star does get Kringling and Chinchilla. Chicken Nugger finish off Clarity and Foreshore. And it's just Echo in the back getting after with a Discord, going to be taken finally out by Star. And they're going to continue pushing forward, and I don't know if Atlanta has time to get another defensive push for this point.
No, they do not. They should be regrouping right now and not staggering.
Now, Pats was picked off very recently from Chicken Nugger, so he was kind of flanking. It does seem like Pats is trying to flank a lot. It has paid off several times, but it does seem like Shanghai is figuring that out. Echo has switched off of the Widow onto the McCree, hopefully trying to deal with a lot of flanking that was going on with Star being on the Sombra and the Super King doing a good job on the Reaper. Echo perhaps needs to stay behind the one static shield, though, to make sure he doesn't fall. Pat's getting Chicken Nugger in this fight. Super King kind of up on top, trying to do a lot of damage. Panda does finish off Echo. Fantastic shot. Super King wraithing away as best he can. Echo is rezzed thanks to Clarity. Looks like Shanghai is possibly going to be trying to switch around what they're going to be doing.
Looks like they're changing over to full die, which can be smart in this scenario.
I like seeing what I just saw. Here comes out a whole hog and a dragon strike that is going to help finish off Super King. The whole hog really just kind of pushing him back from Chinchilla. Marari does get Super King back up, so they're still at quote-unquote full strength, but they're all at half health. Echo gonna finish off Super King before he finishes his freaking, whatever you call it, Shadow Step? Teleport? I'm sure there's a better name for it, but Echo does finish off Ranger with the stun and picks off Marari in the back. What's up, Panda?
Honestly, I would have saved that whole hog for a later push, but he gets his ult back so fast because he's such a fat hero, and his vape can heal him up and give him so much ult charge, which is
High noon from Echo, just barely getting shield thanks to both tanks bring their shields back up to where it should be. Echo being very aggressive. I'd like to see Shanghai perhaps take advantage of that. Super King is getting it spotted thanks to Kringling's positioning. He's actually all by himself, and Chicken Nugger figures that out and dives right on him. Star in the back, up on top. Perhaps looking for that EMP. Hopefully they don't use too many ults here. A fantastic, huge EMP. Getting both tanks. Die! Finishing off Echo and Foreshore. Pats does get the Dragon Strike kill onto Star. That's not going to be enough, because right now they're going to continue pushing forward. Chicken Nugger getting Clarity. Chinchilla finishing off Chicken Nugger. Keep somebody on the point. Panda needs to stay on the point as best you can. Echo almost falling already as a Tracer. Chicken Chilla using that whole hog again just to push him back. They do have 30 seconds, perhaps. They're going to stay here with Panda using Transcendence to help his team come forward. A Shatter going to be shielded. Not going to find anybody on the ground. Chinchilla getting in a fight with Super King. Pats finishing off Marari and Star. Foreshore charging forward and finish off Ranger and Super King. Finally winning the battle against Chinchilla. Who was then
honestly, I would say Atlanta is at a downfall here because, well, they don't have as well. Actually, no, neither team has any ult. So
Foreshore being the closest after Super King, but Echo does finish off Chicken Nugger, who is trying to hide. Dragon Strike going to be running right forward to kind of split off the rest of the team. Mercy not able to get through, getting finished off by Kringling. Echo going to finish off Super King. There is possible right here, but there's no ults. A Shatter just to get Ranger on the ground and finish him off. Atlanta's trying to defend. Chicken Nugger trying to stall as best he can, poking to get him in overtime, jumping and gonna be hooked and finished off by Echo. Super King coming forward, does Wraith on the point and die, finishes off Krieg, Pats and Clarity. Marari does get pinned by Foreshore, but Super King gets off the point from overtime. He could have won the fight against Chinchilla, but that was a fantastic last push attempt by Shanghai. But that means that Atlanta just tied it up.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of the dies that was amazing, but oh my goodness.
That was just absolutely insane. He could have actually completely pushed that to the very end, but Sadly, he got pooped off.
Oh man, that was beautiful plays from both sides. I am so happy to see it go to 2-2. Oh man. So, great positioning on a lot of the fights. Great teamwork back and forth. I am actually not sure if they're going to be going to that fifth game. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't win these scrims. But, oh my gosh. Fantastic Ryan plays. The hog pick, though I was still up in the air, was able to zone a lot. Great hooks, did help finish off a lot of people. Reaper plays, great flanking from both sides. Great picks on, I say flanking from both sides, despite the fact that it was Atlanta, that their flanking was mostly from their Zenyatta and from their Hanzo. Usually you don't see them flank, but it did take Shanghai a little bit to figure out that they are flanking and be able to push onto them as they did that. What final thoughts on Blizzard World?
Honestly, Blizzard World, I would say Atlanta had, I would say honestly, better push than Shanghai. They found themselves more towards the other end of the game rather than the very beginning, which is very common for most teams. They find themselves second period teams. But Shanghai still led through for most of the game, but at the very end it just seemed like they could not. I mean, Super King's final Death Blossom, that
Was amazing.
their team, and that just alone could have won them the game and brought it into overtime, but it just barely missed. And I mean,
the overtime had been in overtime for more than 10 seconds, and as you know, overtime timer does decrease slow at first and then just becomes almost instant after about 30 seconds. So it's just that he got off the point just for a little bit. And it did tick off. Now, it's not necessary that it was going to be a push because there was still a hog on the point. Now, that's to say who would win between a Reaper and a hog. It can go either way, to be honest. It depends on mind games. It depends on proper usage of the heal from hog. And it really depends on who can actually land their shots because they both have kind of a shotgun weapon. But holy cow. Now, I do this a lot with both my any of my co-casters. If you had to pick a MVP either from one or both teams, who would you pick?
Ooh, I'm stuck between two, and sadly, they're on the same team.
Go for it.
I would say either Super King's Death Blossoms or Ryu's friggin' Dragon Blades. Both of them were so good, almost game-changing, but I don't want to downfall on Atlanta because Atlanta had a great couple of alts. I mean, I can't really think of them off the top of my head, but I can only remember Ryu's Blades and Super King's final Death Blossom that almost won them the game. But overall, I would say probably Super King was the MVP when it came to alt usage.
Then I will, of course, pick two people from Atlanta for sure. Fantastic Rhine play. I loved the shatters that I saw. Great follow-ups from your team. Great evolution as you guys were going together. I loved that you were able to shield and shatter as was needed. Your team had some great combos with it. I also want to say that I liked basically, I love it when Lucio is able to be shown, especially on Route 66. So I believe it was Kringling did a fantastic job of dropping the beats. Now, beats were dropped on both sides repetitively and fantastically countered ults on both sides repetitively. So great plays from both sides. And again, Atlanta, well played, well learned. Hope to see you continue to grow.
Exactly. I mean, it's a hard choice choosing the best player out of both of these teams.
Oh, it's not even best player. It's just who I liked.
Well, still, even then, Atlanta showed the most improvement. Shanghai showed the most, I would say, honestly, dedication towards finishing off team fights and such. But Shanghai is more of not a single player, except for, I would say, honestly, two people. But I would love to see Ryu and
Super King
together on one final roster playing against a team. I think they would be almost unbeatable.
They both have shown that, at least shown this caster, that they can definitely play the heroes they pick. So guys, that is going to do it for map number 4. They were able to tie it up. It was first 2-0 in favor of Shanghai. Atlanta able to come from behind and get that tied to back to being 2-2. That is going to put the scrim in the books.